Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 9th of August 2020 and welcome to video number 226. Let's talk about aggression and anger in general, because this is the subject that is many times held against us, that we as men, we are aggressive and so on. And I want you to understand that there's more to it than just what is kind of said, that we are in this negative way. Listen, if you ever had anything to do with any physical, I don't know, physical job, work, anywhere that you had to use your strength, your muscles to do something, you know that aggression to some degree is a must have, because you've got to have this ability to use whatever you have to deal with, especially, I don't know, lifting heavy things, like your friend is moving and you have to help them to move the piano. It requires for you to really like focus and just use your strength, and many times you just use this kind of behavior. But I want you to look at it this way. First of all, it is used against us, and it is used as a pejorative or negative thing in men because it is predominantly a male thing. I'm not saying that it only works with us or in us, but in most of the cases, or 95% of the cases, or 100% of the cases, it will happen in men. In much less percentage, it is going to happen in ladies. Now let me explain why. Because you've got to understand that if you see what is the progression of negativity, of negative energy, if you see how the ladies will descend or ascend in this kind of hierarchy, you'll see that they are getting annoyed, and then when they get angry, they go towards being emotional. And it might go towards screaming, towards crying, towards being depressed or fear. Very rarely it will go towards like physical aggression. Some of them will slap you or will kick you or try to attack you, but it's maybe because of its effect, in that most of the ladies will not really be able to hurt you physically, especially if you're a big guy. So that's why there is none. It's very rarely goes that way. Maybe more in looking at statistics right now, that much more girls are into this fights and so on. But you compare it to guys, there's nothing to compare, because we are getting annoyed, they're getting angry, but when you're getting angry, you channel it into violence. And there's completely no comparison between violence from a girl's from a girl, or violence from a guy. So that's why I want you to understand that in every circumstance that you go this way, especially if you go both of you, it's going to be different effect. And that's why so many girls are afraid of guys, because if they've seen one and seen aggression towards them, they're afraid of it. So first of all, understand that aggression is predominantly a male thing. And aggression meaning, have this tendency or having capability of going really violent. Then point number 2, you've got to understand that if this is true, then you've got to know how to deal with it in your relationship. Because as my wife told me years ago, which was kind of interesting, because I started to think from that moment in time about this subject more and more, is that we were just driving a car and some moron cut me off or something like this, and I just got angry, as most of us do. I said some few words, just got aggressive, and then a few seconds later just came back to being myself. I just didn't care. It took us like 15 minutes to get home, and when we got home, I looked at her and she was still looking at me, being scared. I said, "Is everything fine? What's going on?" And she told me that every time I'm getting aggressive when we drive, she feels uncomfortable to the high degree, because she says, "This is not you, and I'm afraid of your aggression." And that was fascinating, because then I start to think that there is more to it than just being angry, because there's different way that she gets angry and different way that I do. And what kind of, I was working on it because I was, doing martial arts for 13 years. So, and you see, I'm not a really small guy. My aggression, when I get into the aggressive mode, which I really, really rarely do, if ever, in my relationship, then it's completely the state that she's not used to. And that's interesting to see that, she knows that I can be aggressive. She knows, she seen me practice, and what I can do on a punching bag. And it's, I've been trained by professionals, not, and even though I was not even close to being the best in the class, I was just doing it for a long enough time. But it stays with you. It gives you an ability to be really aggressive. And then, because I'm not doing that at home, she said that it's she feels discomfort with it. So that's why you've got to understand that if the point number one is true, and we are having this way of channeling our emotions toward aggression, which is completely alien to them, you've got to understand that you have to learn how to never use this against her. She has to know that you're able to be aggressive, and if she'll be long enough with you, she would know, because she will see you in many, many situations. But what you have to ensure that it'll never be used against her. What you want to do, though, is that when she knows that you can be aggressive, you want basically for her to know that it's going to be used against anyone else that'll try to hurt her, do something against her, but you'll never use it against her itself. Because it is fascinating, because then she will know that you're capable of it, but she will feel secure enough because you never used it against her. Then she'll feel protected by it, not endangered by it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to know how to deal with it. You'll have to know how to use it in your relationship, not to use it against you, but to use for your relationship, which means use it outside and not inside. And then point number 3, you have to learn how to channel it, because you'll see that your aggression has a few uses, let's say, in our man's life. First of all, that will be obvious for you if you go through that. And many of you went, so probably you'll know it already. We as men, we channel pain towards anger. That's the way we express it. That's why with someone, something bad happens, and I don't know, your mother dies or something happens, we get angry. Because that's how we kind of digest and go through our emotions. Second thing that you will see, if you ever go to the gym or do anything, with heavy lifting or whatever, you see that let's say you're doing like some series, you're just pushing, doing push-ups or lifting heavy weights. Last few series in a series, basically, many of us, if not every one of us, you'll use aggression. You I don't know, you'll swear, or you can just push it, and then you're gonna bark, or you're just gonna growl, just because it helps you to overcome the barrier of your physical limitation. And that's why, which interestingly enough, I heard many times from my wife. She would ask, why would you go for, why would you push yourself to go that far? But for us, this is something that kind of pumps us up, because we are able to go into this aggression mode just to go farther and push ourselves, and that we feel great when we were able to do it. So that's, whether that's going to be pain, whether that's going to be like a physical thing, whatever, you'll use your aggression. It's going to be part of your being, which is alien to your girl. So that's why, if you understand that it happens, if you understand you have to use it in your relationship, you'll have to be able to channel it somehow, to use it to your advantage. And many of you are going to the gym, many of you are going for a run. If you feel angry, you don't want to explode with it in a house, so you're just going out and do whatever to just let it go, to vent. And that's like a halfway, because you're not bringing it home, but then she knows and she feels and you know that you just try to vent it out. But at least for me, many times I used some form of aggression as a kind of tool to accomplish things, because what I found is, especially when I was doing photo shoots, like let's say, twice a week, and I had like 3,000 photos to go through and just to work on them, I found that it helped me to be laser focused. When I'm angry, I'm gonna do what needs to be done, and I just take no for an answer. So many times, I'll vacuum or clean the dishes, or in that case, I was able to get angry to some degree and then go through the photos. So what I would do, I'd put my headphones and play loud, very aggressive music, so it just raises my adrenaline a little bit, and then I just be laser focused and go through the photos like on autopilot, which is interesting. So that's why you have to find your own way to use your aggression, if that helps you to be laser focused, like in my case, or maybe it's going to help you do some other things. But you'll have to be able to use it to channel it, not only to vent it. Because then you'll be able to utilize this energy that you've got more of it that you need right now to do something, to accomplish something. So that's why, summarizing, first of all, aggression is a predominantly male thing. This kind of form of aggression. Point number 2, you cannot allow yourself to use it at home against your girl. Find a way so she would know that you have it, that you can control it, but then to use it to advantage of your relationship, meaning directed against anyone else who will try to hurt her, do something against her, but never against her itself, so she would know that you have it, but she would feel protected by it. And point number 3, find a way to utilize this energy to do something proactively, do something positive, do something good, so that then you would know that it's not only venting, that you have to run away from your home or from your girl, but you'll be able to use it to do something good. So this is what I want you to take from this video. Aggression is a part of man's life. This is how we are created, and you have to understand that it might be, in most of the cases it will be, alien to your girl. She'll be afraid of it if you show this phase in your relationship. So that's why use it to your advantage by not using it against her, and finding a way to utilize it so she would know that your ability to be angry will be channeled to help your relationship rather than destroy it. So think about it and do something about it. Because if you look close enough, anger is something that it's like a tool. We can use it to be even more proactive and more kind of useful to our relationship. So be a man, don't be afraid of your aggression, but use it wisely, and then it will serve you. If you like this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Tell me what you think and what is your experience about the subject. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, just give me a shout, and I'll be glad to do it for you. And that being said, see you tomorrow.